So today's forum focus session is all about making the perfect form, if you will, in the forum. It always is hard to say form and forum and to make sure that people know that I'm saying different things. But anyway, we will show you a little bit about how to create a form within your portals for your student organizations or your university departments that can be live for anyone outside of the institution, as well as for students, faculty, and staff who have logged into the forum and have access to look for forms. So it's an easy process. This shouldn't be too long of a session, which is kind of exciting. You know, you'll get a little bit of time back in your day, which no one is ever too upset about. But we'll show you how to do that. And if there are any additional questions, as always, we are happy to answer those through our getinvolved@olemiss.edu email. So again, I always start these sessions with making sure that people know our website, union.olemiss.edu, has a lot of really great resources on it. When you click Get Involved, ! And then go down to Registered Student Organizations, there is an entire page about managing an RSO using ForUM. When you navigate there, it has a variety of helpful points that you can look at, from some quicker training videos about different things, as well as some of the quick tips for managing the different functions of the forum. And so this is a helpful page for anybody who is just needing some quick things, quick answers, or some solutions to navigating the forum. So helpful, hopefully, and we're constantly updating this. This is also where these videos will live once we get them uploaded with our captioning to the website. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to our forum homepage. As you all know, you can log into the forum utilizing your My Ole Miss credentials. So your email without the @olemiss or @go.olemiss.edu and your password that you use for all of your other university logins. From here, you'll see that we have our memberships area, different events that are coming up, latest news that's coming up. And you can see all of this in your Explore view under your account. So right now I'm in Explore view, and you'll notice things obviously change a little bit whenever I shift to Manage. And so Manage pulls up your Action Center for any of the things that you are a part of as far as your memberships are concerned, and shows you all of these different items that you have access to do something with, right? So these are things that I can approve. As far as events are concerned, these are budget requests that have been coming into ASB for us to look at, and some past budget requests. And then we have our general forms. And as you can see, because of my view with an admin, I can see all of the forms as they're being submitted. It's a little overwhelming from any sort of like area of our portals. So from here, what I want to do is I want to show you what it looks like to create a form within one of your membership portals. And so we'll use our Ole Miss Student Union portal just to give you an idea of what this looks like. So to first and foremost get to your form area within your membership, you click on your membership. And then from here, what you see is we have our general page. And so I'm under the Manage view. So this is what that page looks like whenever I've clicked on Manage, as opposed to being in the Explore view. From there, I click on those 3 bars, and if I go down this menu, I can then click on Forms right here under Documents. And this shows me all of the different forms that we have within our forum portal for the Ole Miss Student Union. So as you can see, we have quite a few forms here. Different ones are activated right now. You can filter this based on what form, you might be looking for. We have it sorted by our form name, so that puts it in alpha order. You can also include any archived forms. So like anything that you've moved to being archived will then show up, and then you can take it out of being archived if you need to. And so archived just takes it out of the general lineup, so you don't have to see it anymore. It doesn't go away, it just gets archived. So you don't delete it, just to be very clear. And then from there, you can also see which ones are currently accepting submissions. So that limits it, right? And that just shows that we have 10 active forms right now. We have the ability to look at, our forms based on what has some pending submissions. So what needs us to approve some things or what maybe we need to pay attention to. And then featured, that shows it if that is showing up for basically anyone to be able to look at it. So again, you can navigate to different things by utilizing that feature in the search bars, as well as utilizing these filters. So from here, what I want to do is I want to show you how to create a form, just giving you some quick tips and tricks, and hopefully making it pretty helpful for those of you who might be wanting to create forms for students to fill out, for staff, faculty, or just general community members, because there's a lot of things that you can do within the forum. It's not quite as exciting as our Google suite of forms, right? But the cool thing about this is that it allows you to add different permission levels and approval levels, while also then being able to pull really clean Excel documents as CSV files at first of the information that gets put into your forms. So that's where it's really helpful. So to create a new form, you go to these three dots right here that are near forms, click on it. And then if you want to create a form, you just click create a form. And that takes you to the general form page. So from here, what you get to do is you get to make different choices as to what kind of form you want to put together. So we'll just say that we're putting together let's say, member feedback form. And so what I always want to do is I want to make sure that it's active. And that way we know it's turned on, it's good to go. I can set the start time for whenever. So I'll just set the start time for 4:15 p.m. today, and then we're going to let it go for the whole semester. So I'll put it all the way till December 31st at 5:15 p.m. That's the last time people can submit something. And since I don't really want anyone outside of the student union to submit it, I'm just going to click hide from explore forms. That way it doesn't show up whenever people go searching for it. Now, if I wanted anybody at the university to see it, I would just click featured and explore forms. And that way anybody could look for it regardless of what portal they're in. But I'll just hide it and we'll be good. So for this one, we're going to say that we want an approval process. And so this is where you can give access to different people to approve, deny, or give feedback on a submission. If you don't need that, you can just click no review required. For this one, we're just going to say, yeah, we want to enable an approval process so we can add some people as reviewers, whatever. So under public submission collection, right here, this is where you can allow people from outside of the University of Mississippi to submit these forms if you would like. And so it gives you a little bit of information about that too. Again, enabling this option means that anyone on your campus and the community or around the world can create a submission for your form without logging into the system. So that allows people to submit things without having to put in their My Ole Miss information. And so if you need to do that, you can. It's totally fine. If you want to allow people to submit this form more than just once, what you do is you click allow multiple submissions, and that will allow a user to submit this more than one time. So that's important to remember. Enable reviewer workflow. This is something that's really helpful if you have like different steps in a process, right? So like if one person needs to approve it before it goes to somebody else, if you click on enable reviewer workflow, this will allow you to do that. So this will allow I will be the first approver or the first reviewer. As soon as I give it a thumbs up mark in the forum, it will then allow it to go to the next person. Let's say it would go to Bradley for him to approve it and be the final person to approve it. It won't notify him to review it until after I have reviewed it. And so you can set those reviewer workflows up in the forum through the logic, and we'll show you how to do that in just a second. Enable submitter identified reviewers. This allows the person who's submitting the form to add people that should be aware of it. So as long as they put in their email, it will then let that go directly to that person for them to review it as well. So that's a pretty neat feature. As you can see, you can make it required if you want to. You can put in optional instructions. And so for this, you'll get notified as the primary contact of the person who creates the form, but then that puts it on a student, a staff person, a faculty member to then add their own reviewers so they can be aware of it. So that's a cool feature that's pretty nifty and helpful. So from here, you can restrict this as well. So the following people can always respond, so it's the primary contact or anyone that's marked as staff. Or you can restrict it to all of the members of the Ole Miss Student Union. If you are trying to like hide that from like general people, you can do that. But we'll just leave it for the primary contact and staff. So now I've got all of my sort of create form things created. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click save. And so once I do that, this is all saved and we're good to go with all this information. I can go back and change it at any point if I need to. And then I'll click reviewers. And so this is where you then can add people to review the form. And what this will do is anybody who's listed as a reviewer will automatically get emailed every single time a submission is created and submitted into the forum. Rather, every time that a form is submitted, you will get notified that a form has been submitted for the member feedback form 2020-2021. So what I'll do is I will add myself. And so again, for the forum, you have to be a part of the portal that you're creating the forms in if you want to be added as a reviewer. So if you need to add any people, you do that. And so I'm going to allow myself to vote on submissions. And I'm going to click save there. And so now I'll get notified every single time that the member feedback form is submitted by someone. So if I go back to form properties, what this is going to allow me to do then is to save all this information, and now I can add my questions. And so again, you know, like I mentioned earlier, there aren't quite as many different things that you can do with the form feature in Engage, but there is some helpful intuitive stuff that you can work around to make some stuff happen for you if you would like to pursue utilizing this forms feature. So for example, with an instructions box, this is where you can tell people what they can do as far as filling out your form. So fill out this form to give us your honest feedback. And so from here, I can then add, like, if I need to add instructions, I can do that here. I can also embed a YouTube video if like I've gotten really, you know, just super duper extra and I want to give them a YouTube video tutorial on how to go about submitting this form, I can do that, or welcome to the form, whatever that looks like. You can obviously see that you can do different highlighting and different copy and paste things. This will allow you to submit an image if you want to, or insert an image into this. It does have to have a URL associated with it. So you have to be able to take it from a website and then put it in. So we've done that before with some of our stuff, and I'll show you all that really quickly just so you can get an idea of it. So let me see. If I go to our virtual involvement week, and if I put that, sorry, let me drag it over really quick. If I drag that over, it will then let me put that in there. So again, it's like a neat feature, but you have to make sure that you have the URL, so it needs to be web-based. One of the other really cool features is embedding a video like I talked about just now. A lot of people have sort of enjoyed that feature. We've liked it just because it gives us another way to interact with our students. And so I'll just use one of our virtual, our virtual involvement week videos as an example. So if I go to our get involved session, if I just take the link and copy it, sorry. It will then embed and it will be there for students to click on, and then will automatically pop up for them. And so then from here too, you can do other things that you might need to do as far as instructions are concerned. But it's really sort of, you know, quick and easy to just put in instruction boxes for your forms. So from here too, you have different options as far as what different types of questions you can ask. You can obviously do text fields, you can do radio buttons, you can do a checkbox list if you want to. You can do single checkboxes, ranking to prioritize different things, and you can have folks upload files if you want to. And so one of the things I encourage people to do is just sort of play around and kind of figure out what you might be wanting to do and how you might want to manage this for yourself within your portals. I will go ahead and show you one of our forms that we've sort of recently worked on, just to kind of get ready to go for our students. And so we've done some different things with our forms just throughout, kind of just being ready and prepared for the fall, and trying to find neat and engaging ways to do different things. And so by no means are we like the only experts on campus, but we've tried to do some different and inventive things to make sure that we're using the forms as best as we can. So I'll go back here and show y'all an example. Oh, sorry. That's right. It's turned off. That's my bad. 1 second. Let me turn it back on. Okay, I know this will work. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay, maybe not. I can give another example, but we just want to make sure that you have enough sort of like opportunities to sort of look at your forms and think about how you can do them in a way that will be really helpful. I'll show you all this one. This is one that we've sort of done as far as our student leaders are concerned, with making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to while they're here in their office hours. And so again, you'll also see that in order to share the form, you need to share it from this link. You can't just copy and paste it out of the browser. So that's an important thing to remember. If you do that, it's not going to work. So let me click new submission. And so this is a pretty easy one, right? Like pretty cut and dry. Your name, I did a drop down for which organization they represent. And then we sent them an agreement that they needed to complete as a fillable PDF. And then they're just expected to upload that here. So again, quick and easy, but then what it does is it puts it out in a pretty decent format for us to export all of the submissions. And so when you do that, you go to downloads, and then you can download all of your submissions, pops up as a CSV. And so then you're able to sort of see that and able to see who submitted what, who has sort of gotten their information in on time and it's accurate. Pulling that up now so y'all can see it. And then you can edit that however you need to. So all of that's right there. The other neat feature about forms too from here is that whenever you are in that space with your forms and you're needing to pull like all of the attachments at once, so they've recently updated this, you can export like all of those PDF submissions by just clicking this button, and it does the same thing for you. And so you can see it's progressing through. It's going to take it a couple of minutes to get there just because there's quite a few PDFs, but that will give you a zip file of everyone's information so you can then have it and file it away wherever you might need to file it, put it, in box, whatever, to have proof that everyone submitted their information. So I'll also show y'all another example of a form really quickly. So for example, we do our who's who through the ForUM as well. And so I can show y'all that, or I could show you the leadership and engagement ambassadors application. That one we did quite a few things with, and, we allowed ourselves to review it, all of that. And then from here, we have different pages. And so again, you can go back and edit this whenever you want to. And so the neat thing about ForUM and the forums is that you don't have to do just like one long page if you don't want to. You can add different pages, and when you go into your form properties, it will allow you to do that. And so save and add questions. If you need to add a page, you just click the add page button. But as you can see, our first page here, we have general information that they needed to read. And then we ask them, yes, take me to the rest of my application. And so we use logic to have it then move from page 1 to then page 2 with all these different questions to give them the opportunity to ask any questions of us, because we were doing this in a virtual format, right? We weren't able to physically interact with our students whenever all the applications were out. From there, it took them to page 3 if they agreed for their information. Upload, we gave them specific parameters for what they needed to do. Page 4 was answering questions. We could put links in for websites to refer them to for different things, and just kind of keep going. We added information about our references that we needed from them. And then page 6, that was sort of our final page, just to make sure that they knew what they needed to do and that they would submit their application. And so again, it's really helpful to sort of like look at this. When you click on page properties, that will give you the opportunity to add conditions. So I'll show y'all what that looks like from page 1. This is also nifty and helpful because you don't have to like go back and search for anything. But as you can see, when you click page properties, gives you the information. You can title your page. And then from here, you need to add any logic you can, with your page properties, and add conditions if you need to. So like if they selected, yes, or if it's not selected, you can edit all of that and do what you need to do to keep them either moving through a form or jumping from one page to another. You can modify all of that within the forum. So again, really easy to navigate, really helpful too if you're just trying to have everything in one place. And I can give you one quick other example. Whenever you go here for forms, this is where all of the Explore forms will show up when you're in the Explore view. And so again, if you go here, forms, this is showing you the different forms that we have available to fill out. And so for example, you all did the form focus session to sign up. And so if you do that, you just click start and it'll take you to the form to then create a new submission. As you can see, I embedded an image, very fancy, all of that good stuff. You can fill out your name, all of that. But that's where you can go to find any general forms that anybody at the university has put on the forum that you are hoping to have them fill out. So really helpful as far as like pushing a lot of people to begin utilizing the forum for the purpose of publicizing forms and different information. So we can definitely get more people, logging in, utilizing this. We even have our COVID-19 vendor compliance form that we are having any groups that we're working with this semester do to make sure that they are, in compliance with what we are doing as a university and expectations for anybody who's coming to campus to do events. So that's all I have for forms. If you have any questions or if you need any assistance with forms or anything like that, please feel free to reach out. Again, there are helpful features over here. If you ever need to ask any questions, you can check out release notes for new things happening with the forum as they're happening. And then you can also see under your submissions, every time that you submit a form, it goes here as long as you are logged in. It will show what's in progress. As you can see, I have a lot of things in progress because we do a lot of training. But definitely take advantage of the really awesome things that you can do utilizing this feature and how you can sort of navigate creating some of these things for your organizations or for your departments all through the forum. All right. Thank you all so much and have a great afternoon.